Welcome back to Beyond the Film Podcast, where we're track stars. Oh my goodness. Jumping into the movie though.
Right.
We're talking about Captain America, the Winter Soldier. I am your host, Meadow. She is Rose. Let's get right into Washington, D.C., where we meet Sam while they're running around the monument. Cap runs around a good chunk of times. Sam says that he runs like 13 miles in 30 minutes.
I can't even run 1 mile in an hour.
Like, what? Why were they doing that? Well, I guess, cardio. Good for your heart. They're active. They soldiers.
They're ex-military. This is what they used to do all the time.
Every day.
Just light work.
Light work. Not messing around. But we see Steve and Sam talking, and this is like the first real mental check-in we get for Steve out of the water. We see the Captain America movie, then right after the next movie he's in is Avengers, where he is being a soldier. But no one ever has been like, how are you really? They're just like, oh my gosh, it's Captain America. Like, there's aliens falling from the sky. No one ever asked, how was Steve? Sam do.
They always say, never hi, how are you?
I just think that it's really funny, the things that he mentions. He's like, yeah, we used to boil everything. No polio is good, and the internet's so helpful.
He probably loved seasoned food.
No, for real. That's probably his jam. He probably loved him a black woman.
He doesn't.
He doesn't. Yeah, no black love for
But
Steve.
he appreciates black culture.
Yeah. He is not a racist. Good for him.
Yes. I took a picture of
his list. Good, because I was about to say, I need to go grab my phone. I got a picture of the list.
Yeah, okay. It's not even new stuff. It's old stuff that he missed.
Yeah.
I Love Lucy, which was
the crazy thing is that, from that album that he gave him, the 70s, that is still 30 years that he was in the ice that he missed.
Right.
Yeah.
He's from the 40s.
Yeah.
I forgot about that.
Yeah, so he missed a good amount of things. All right, well, continue.
I Love Lucy, which is a TV show.
Okay.
The moon landing, we made it to the moon, bro. What?
Or people are maybe oh my goodness, is it fake?
Right. All of it.
Yeah.
The Berlin Wall.
Up and down.
Yeah. I feel he didn't get to see the conclusion of the war either.
Correct.
Steve Jobs. Apple technology. I don't know what Pisco is. Pisco?
I think that's wait, let me see. Oh, disco. I think that's a D. Because he missed out on the 70s.
I was from the 80s. Anyways. Thai food.
Maybe it is the 80s. I don't know. Whatever. Anyway, Thai food.
Yeah. Talking about seasonings,
Seasonings.
Cultures. And especially being from New York
times too. New York got unseasoned food?
No, they have New York is one of the biggest melting pots.
Oh, you're saying where he
all the different boroughs and stuff. He's from Brooklyn, Queens.
I think
Brooklyn. Being from those type of boroughs, anyways, if he would have grew up with that, he would have experienced all different types of cultures, food. He missed out on Star Wars and Star Trek, which is also, I think that my brain wants to say the 90s, but that is not. I have no idea.
So please. What movies we're watching.
Nirvana, which is a band. Rocky, the boxing movies.
Yeah.
And now what's the one? Creed, which is after Rocky. I'm pretty sure.
Are they related?
I think so.
Oh, okay. What's the rest on the list though?
And then the album.
Okay.
Yeah, they're related because Rocky is
the mentor. Oh, okay, that makes sense. Good for them. But we get the tone set. We get our four kinda, because it's called the Winter Soldier. But we get the three main people that's gonna be in the movie together: Sam, Cap, and Nat. He pulls up in a little car. He's like, "You can't run everywhere." No, you can't. Hey, how you doing?
No, literally.
How you doing, baby?
Sam is
chill.
A natural for going
that
from
little face he
going from the present and where we see Sam right now and watching this back, I forget like how much has happened to Sam.
No, literally.
Like just in general.
And I mentioned this later on, but like I forget that his job was literally to like help guide people from like war times into regular life and just like helping them navigate. You know, really good with mental health and having a logical brain. So it makes sense why, spoiler, Cap passes the torch. All right, so the opening mission, what Cap mentions, he's like, I'm tired of being Fury's janitor. So it's like, oh, you're cleaning up messes constantly. Crazy. And then when they see that Sitwell is there, Cap's like, why is Sitwell here? And then you see Nat's face. Nat's face and her reactions are very important throughout this whole movie. Like, they tell a lot of things before they're actually told to us. Like, if you just like see her, she like her face will change. And I'm like, interesting.
Didn't notice that.
Yeah. And it's like, what does she know about this? And I thought at this time, when he was fighting, that his shield was only blue and gray.
No, his shield is very like mute on this ship.
Okay,
I wrote down, I was like, did his shield change? Like, did his outfit change? What's going on?
His outfit definitely did change. His outfit didn't have any red in it. So I was like, oh, like they changed his shield. Like, that's very interesting. But then later on, we see that the shield is red.
Yeah, I think it's just because it's dark and like they're on a boat.
Maybe
in the middle of the ocean. Yeah, there's no light out there.
Right, that's true. Right, it'd be dark out there. Ooh,
pitch black.
The thought of that,
like, you
my
literally
skin crawl.
You can't like
everything is
even if you shine a light, like it's like not gonna go anywhere.
It's just gonna eat, and it's like, wow, if God wanted to take you out right now,
He could,
really could. No witnesses.
Well, still the people on the boat.
I mean, they're gonna die too.
Oh
yeah. Like the water, wow, whatever. We're not that not the podcast.
Let's talk about how scary the ocean is.
Cap takes out the pirates, and I'm like, wow, it's kind of funny seeing him fight people. Like, we've been seeing him fight aliens and like, you know, robots and stuff. And it's like, these are just regular people. He's going ham. He's shredding through them.
I thought you were more than just the shield.
He's like, I am. Let's see. And I'm like, oh, he speaks French.
Wait. Honestly, I wrote this little side note. French is not a scary language. Like, when they were talking to the hostages, like in French stuff, I'm like, I would not be scared right now.
So
like,
actually, I am in love. This is the language of romance. I love this. Please. But his helmet here was kind of crazy when he took his helmet off to fight the guy. He was like, let's go. Let's roll with it. But Cap, he catches Nat once he's done captain fighting, because he's the captain of the pirates.
Captain of the fighting.
Right. And she catches him. She got a secret mission to collect shield intel. And it's like, isn't this a shield ship? Like, why are you trying to collect intel from the ship? What is going on?
She's very much, I feel like this is very prime example of how Cap is a soldier but Nat is a spy. Like, she does what she's like. They both do what they're told,
but they're being told things from different levels.
Yes, and it's very clear, like, they're different. Like, a spy and a soldier are not the same.
No, it's literally not. Think about a CIA agent versus like an army soldier. You know, very different. They both take orders. They both understand the hierarchy of the government. However, it's like, it's not the same.
But also, I feel like Cap does what he's told, but it's different. Like, he does what he's told if he agrees with it. Yeah. Like, he's not, like, he's a soldier, but he's not a typical soldier.
He's a soldier with his own mind and moral compass, and like feels that is greater than just being a soldier, because that is something that the doctor told to him right before he died, or like, right before he died. He was like, don't, like, remember to be a good man. Don't just be a good soldier. He's like, yeah. And that's something that he was talking with Peggy about too. He's like, I'm trying to do the right thing, but I don't know what that is anymore. But we see their headquarters. It's called the Triskelion.
Yes. Before we move on, I wrote, like, at this point of the movie, I was thinking about the comparisons between like Cap and Tony's movies, because I feel like in the future too, they're very like compared a lot. And I feel like when I was watching this movie and like when I'm thinking about like Cap's next movie, I feel like his movies are very much like they are centered around him, but they're very much like community based. Like there's something else going on or it's about someone else. Like there's more people involved. And then like Tony's movies are very much like
me.
Yes, very solo. Very like he's going through something. This movie is about what he's done or like his action that affects someone else.
Wow.
And that's very telling of their characters too. Yes.
Oh my gosh, literally.
So that's I thought that was very interesting, especially like just watching Agent Carter. Go watch our 2 podcast episodes on that, and like seeing his father and like the whole
literally wild. But
okay, go ahead.
They have a little elevator chat. Well, excuse me, I skipped over something. Cap confronts Fury. Cap confronts Fury, and he's like, "Last time I trusted someone, I lost an eye." I'm like,
that's not how you lost that eye.
And it's like, okay, sure. Spoiler. You can say I trusted the little kitty cat, the little flirkin, and I was like, "Oh, you're so cute," and then it scratched me in the eye. I'm like, this is an over exaggeration, Fury. Oh my gosh, you're so dramatic. Oh my goodness gracious. But it's like, it really does set us up to be like, oh my goodness, like how did he lose his eye? Like,
which we don't get answers for until like 5 years later.
We're just left like, oh my, like he trusted somebody and something horrible happened, like battle scars. Oh my goodness.
But I feel like this also brings up like one of the main plots of the movie, which is trust. Like Nick's whole thing is like, if the trust was written out. That's Nicholas's character.
Yeah. But they have a little elevator chat. You know, he's talking to him about all of the things and the
Project Insight.
The elevators, they have a Face ID. I thought that was very interesting, and that's kind of a
design or upgraded by Tony, or is that just Project Insight?
No, that was just the like the arcs to help them stay in the sky. That is where Tony had some insight at. But Project Insight, yes, it's 3 helicarriers. I got some dirt on my pants. Whoa. Anyway, though, Project Insight is 3 helicarriers. They're linked by targeting satellites, and they can read enemy DNA. And I'm like, that means that they're reading everybody. They're not just reading their, like, he's queuing it up so nice, like, oh, our enemies and the terrorists and this and the third. But it's like, you're talking all of this game, but you're still, as Cap said, pointing a gun at everybody on the planet Earth.
Holding a gun to everyone on Earth and calling it protection.
Like, who said that was a good idea? And I'm like,
fear.
On these councils, they need to have a humanitarian or something. Like, everyone is too war-centered and, like, thinking about how can we get after the next guy. Like, bro, anyone ever thought maybe we should just all hold hands? Maybe we should just kumbaya on some psychedelics or
like
something.
the world globe and then, like, the kids on the outside.
Yeah, that's exactly what we need. But
yeah, Cap also says when he's talking, like Nick's saying like y'all did the same thing back in the day, blah blah blah. And Cap's like
first of all,
I have the quote. Cap's like, we did it so people could be free. This isn't freedom. This is fear. And this is also, we have to keep in mind, this is after Avengers. This is after like everyone's world blew up. Like aliens are real and they attacked us. Like people are scared and they want to protect themselves. And that's like a very common theme throughout the rest of the Infinity Saga.
Definitely. But see, the thing is with this, it's like, how can you even really use that as an excuse when you're targeting human beings? Like, no one is targeting, like, you're not shooting them into space. You're like, oh yeah, like if anything comes in our orbit, we'll shoot them down. No, you're pointing at the ground. Like, it's too late by that point. What are you doing? You're talking about taking down terrorists and things and such. Your government not doing their job? The soldiers not doing what they need to do. Your government can't orchestrate like what
they are. But like now, superheroes are real. Vigilantes
they're reliant on these types of things, and I mentioned something about that later on towards the end. But continue.
But yeah, like vigilantes are real. Like people aren't following the police. They aren't following the government. Like they're doing what they want. Like Iron Man is an example of that. Like who's to stop Iron Man if he were to go rogue?
Right. Other supers. And no one's like, let me call the police. Everyone's like, let me call my personal superhero.
Yeah. And that's the fear.
Even in like, I know this is not MCU, but in The Dark Knight, when the call went to a private number instead of going to the police, like
There's always that like pool. It's not. We always talk about it's either some conflict with the police or some conflict with the government.
And
this time, yeah, it's the government.
But Cap, he's not on board. He doesn't plan on being on board. He's like, oh, I gotta go. Get on my motorcycle and I'm leaving. But he goes to the Smithsonian and it's like, oh, they are telling people about Hydra. When did they start doing this?
What I wrote down too, because we talked about that. I don't know if it was in the part 2 or part 1 where we were confused while watching Agent Carter. We were like, okay, do people know about what really happened during the war? Do they not know?
And it's like, yeah, I'm very curious to know when they started sharing the information about Hydra and that they were going after a secret branch of
a rogue military branch.
Yeah, the Nazis. Oh my gosh.
Okay.
But his team is called the Howling Commandos. I just thought that was a cute thing to remind everybody of. What were we about to say though?
We on the little thing says little Cap. He was 95 pounds.
Yes.
And he was 5'2".
5'4".
5'2".
5'2".
I wrote it down.
I mean, I know you wrote it down, but it still looked like 4 on my. Anyway, though,
5'3".
Right, little medium.
But that, like, he was underweight. Like, I don't know this for a fact, but like thinking logically, like,
I mean, even
95 pounds.
He looked like he needed a sandwich.
Tiny. Yeah.
I mean, but how could he? Wartime. He broke.
His also confirmed in this movie, he's an orphan. His parents are dead.
At what age are you not considered an orphan anymore?
I think you're always considered an orphan.
You an adult and then like both your parents die. Oh, you an orphan. That's crazy. Everyone's gonna be orphans one day.
Yeah.
That's crazy. Anyway, though, but they have a little section there for Bucky. I'm like, oh, that's so nice.
Yes. Also, did age math. Bucky was 27 when he died.
R.I.P.
And I figured out later, Cap was also 27, I believe. 26 to 27.
Wow. And Peggy was only
25?
early 20s when Cap and her were together. Well,
then they were younger. They were younger. This is when.
Oh, you're talking about when he died.
When he died.
Okay, but still, if she was only 25 in the Agent Carter series,
she was like 22. Like 3. I don't remember.
Whatever, but that's still, a little,
but yes,
a little decent age.
Yeah,
gap.
she was early 20s. But this is back.
Right.
This is back in the day. This is a different time.
Everything should be fine.
It's a different time.
But since they have this section of Bucky there, it makes me wonder, like, who curated this section? And like, was it Peggy?
Probably.
Was it Howard? And when I saw Peggy, I was like, it was probably Peggy, because she had a section where she's talking, and she said that her husband was saved by Cap during that first raid. And I'm like, was that Sousa?
We'll find out in season 2.
Oh my goodness. And also, it's so crazy. Never mind. Let's not even get into that.
Okay. I also did see a Pinterest that was talking about I think it was Peggy that's talking about that Peggy made Bucky like a agent of S.H.I.E.L.D. So when he died, he got like a agent like title next to it on like his certificates and whatnot.
Bless him. Bless her.
So yeah, she definitely like, this is Cap's best friend. Like, let me take care of him.
Look out for him. Yeah. That's real. But right after this, we get to see old Peggy. Cap is visiting her, and right next to her bed, she got pictures of herself and her kids. Ain't no husband.
Her husband's in one of them.
That just looked like it was her and like her kids, like 2 kids.
Oh, it looks like a.
Yeah, I was like,
But also, these kids are like never brought up again.
Just Niecy Poo. It's like,
I forget that she has kids, because when they bring up her niece, I'm like, oh, she didn't have any kids.
Right, like that's just all she could look out for. No, that girl got cousins. Where your cousins at?
Right.
Why didn't come to speak at the wedding?
Cap should have been kissing.
Mwah, you my son. Come here. You a son to me. You a little boy. Anyway, though, Words. Yeah, you can see how he's stuck in the cycle of trying to be a soldier, and he's like, yeah, when I came back, I thought I'd just throw myself back in and like everything will be fine, but like now I don't know what's going on, like who is to say. And I love that he has this, like, he gets to have these relationships with people that don't treat him so like, captain, my captain. He's like, oh, you're so dramatic, like, get to tell him about himself. It's like, oh my gosh, I can't believe he said that.
And Peggy is always like very encouraging him to like move on and live his life. Mm-hmm. Like she lived hers. Like, I mean, like they're definitely very. She's probably like sad that they couldn't like live together.
Absolutely.
But she's like, yeah, like I had kids, I found a husband, like it's your turn, babe. Like I want you to live a life and be happy.
Saved the world more than one occasion.
You deserve to be happy.
Like literally. But her CGI was horrible.
Okay.
I didn't get to look up to see if that was actually whatever.
It was the actress. Okay. I looked it up. I remember watching this beforehand. I'd be like, wow. No, I think they changed it. Because there's other scenes in here that look odd that didn't look odd before. And it like...
You have seen this movie a lot.
A lot. So I would know. And it looks like, it looks like they like put something over it or like AI over it or something, because her words aren't matching up with like her face is lagging. Ooh. So it doesn't look,
not the laggy face.
Yeah, like like CGI. Like before it looked like she just had like prosthetics on, but now it looks like she's not actually there. Like the AI someone in, but it didn't look like that before because her actress is credited on the movie, so she was there, so they changed it.
That's weird.
And I wrote that down. It's weird. Like it wasn't like, leave it alone.
Yeah,
we need to go to the library,
get the disc
and compare.
Yeah. But she has dementia and she constantly forgets that he is alive, and you just see the sadness set in his face and set in his eyes. He's like, dang. Yeah, baby girl, I'm back. I couldn't leave my best girl, especially when she owed me a dance.
Right. Definitely. Also, like, his last tie to like the old world, the old life.
He's familiar with, yeah.
Yeah.
He's like, I can't talk to no girls with similar life experience.
Which is crazy, though, too, because it's like, but you're, like, technically they're the same age. It's just different decades. But, like, still.
It's just like, yeah, she didn't get to take a nap. She didn't get to just take a beat, chill out.
Yes, but at the end of this scene, Captain's basically like, he doesn't know what right is anymore. He's still confused. He's confused and like doesn't know what to do with his life.
Yeah. I mentioned that earlier, but yes, so next we see Fury, and he got the flash drive, and he's trying to access the Lemurian Star's satellite launch files, but for some reason he doesn't have access. Someone has locked him out, and he's like, oh,
who locked me out?
Not safe. And next we see our shady secretary here having a conversation with these council members.
Side, like, small note, I found it so interesting that they put chairs behind the projections, like in the room they have chairs, they're sitting in chairs in the projections. It's so interesting.
Yeah, maybe it's like the hologram only works for the actual person but not any objects that are in their room, so it will look
you
weird.
Can see the chairs
that they're sitting in.
Yes.
All right, never mind, I have no excuses for them. Anyway, though, they're concerned about the ship hijack. They said that it happened in broad day, so I'm like, oh, is this an inside job then? Like, what's up? What's the team? And so...
Oh, okay. Yeah, the hijacking. I was like, what? They were on the... it was pitch black out there.
So, that meeting happens, and then Fury goes to say, hey, like, something is up. What's going on?
Let's put a pause on this Project Insight.
He's like,
whatever you say, boss.
And... we get to see that Cap goes to visit Sam. They have a quick little chat, and like Cap instantly was quick to say no, like, I'm not leaving out. Like, I don't think I could ever leave the game. And he's like, actually, I don't really know. Like his survival mode jumped at him. Like, no, I can't leave. And it's like, wait, no, like I don't really want to stay because it's not really aligned with me. My girl is telling me to go do something else. Like, you can literally do anything, and he doesn't feel like he can because that's all
he's ever known.
No, he's like, what makes you happy?
Yeah, no. But literally, yeah, going back to like when he was little Steve, like his father was in the military, so like it was like his destiny to like follow in his footsteps, do the right thing, like especially like during war times. Like World War I wasn't that far before World War II.
Yeah,
so he probably lived through both too. So yeah, like that's all he knows.
And it's like wasn't really thinking, okay, so once I get out of the war,
right,
what am I gonna do with my life? It's like, no, like I just need to fight the war. I need to get it done. We need to win.
And the one thing he was gonna do, he can't do because she's old and crippled.
Right. Eggs is dried up.
Literally.
But Fury is on the run now. He's like, what the heck? He calls Heel and he's like, go. I need you here.
I need you in DC
deep shadow conditions.
Give me 24 hours.
No, she said, give me 4 hours. He's like, you got 3.
Oh yeah.
Get over here.
Where is she in New York then?
I don't know. I don't know what she was doing.
4 hours? Where the heck?
I have no idea.
No, she was in New York.
Why do you say that?
Because I watched one of the deleted scenes and she's talking to the bald guy with glasses. And
Sitwell?
Yeah, and he's like, right after the funeral, you're going back to New York.
Oh.
And she's like, oh.
Gosh. But we see a cop flash his lights and what? You're talking about if we're gonna be here for 3 hours. It's you.
When I was first watching this movie, I thought he was flashing his lights because Fury was like had a sassy mouth. I didn't know him making that noise was to alert the other guys. Like I never put that together until this time. And then when they rammed into him, I was like, oh snap!
They're on the same team. Yes, baby girl, they're on the same team. But yeah, like first of all, that was suspicious right away that the cop flashed his lights and then pulled in front of Fury instead of letting Fury pull off and then following behind him, because that is normal situation, like duh. And yeah, but all hell starts to break loose, and the car confirms that there are no cops dispatched in the area. So like this is a setup. These are fake police cars. Which is a fake SWAT team. I'm like, this is crazy.
Which is crazy.
SWAT. It's
crazy that they need the SWAT team though, and this many guys for Nick Fury.
Yeah,
like you would think.
Don't play.
Like Nick, we've never really seen Nick in combat. Never see him like the most we've seen him is shoot a gun. But like for them to need this many people to get this man.
They're not trying to play any games. They're like, we want this done.
Like this is like the amount of people they need for Captain America type, which I feel like is very telling of like Nick and his status.
They respect him. They respect his power that he has, and yeah, they're like, we're not gonna take any chances with him. But yeah, I thought it was very smart of him to be rolling around in an armored car, especially with the type of work that he's in. Like. This is good. Like, yes, smart black man right here. Great job. And we get the first view of the Winter Soldier, and we see like also
gas, bruh.
I was like, oh my goodness, there he go.
Take me to the safe house.
Oh, I need to get out of here immediately. He was like, let me just go ahead and burrow real quick. This is not gonna fight him.
Where did he go?
Where did he go? Like, did he drill into
like a sewer? Like,
right. But this is also like, we have to think this is
also
city.
DC.
Exactly. Like, there's probably things underneath things. Like, it could be a subway, or it could just be, secretive things buried underneath secret buildings and such that we don't know about. And I am also just thinking like, wow, like this is so reckless of them. Like they're driving through traffic like this. Like this is insanely reckless.
Bro, literally I was like, F civilians. He's literally just firing without a care. Like the police, like when they're firing through cars, officers. Like they don't care about
the image. No, yeah, that's what I was also thinking. I'm like, but like
they don't care about their lives. The civilians' lives.
Yeah. Because I mean like they don't have any ties. They don't have any like they didn't swear an oath to protect people. You know, like they're just agents they're hired gunmen. They're not anyone that's like, right, I swear to protect people.
Well, I saw them as like undercover cops. Like kingpin type, like corrupt.
No, I don't.
I didn't see them as like separate.
I don't think that they're actual cops. No, not at all. But Cap gets home. We see the cute nurse that Natasha was talking about earlier.
Right.
And then
doing her laundry. You do your laundry in my room if you want.
A cup of coffee. Maybe next time, Pookie. But Fury is there. And he's speaking in code. He's like, my wife, she kicked me out. And I'm like, bro, what is he talking about? And then I see him start typing on his phone. It's like, oh, he got to speak in code. He can't let him know the next move. But
another side note.
What?
Where you continue. It's okay. This podcast can be 3 hours long. Okay. So Cap notices the music before he goes into the apartment. And he's like, someone's in my apartment. So he goes to the window.
First of all, I thought that, I think Baby Girl...
She said
knew. Yeah, I know that she said something, but I'm like, I feel like she knew that he was in there. She was like, oh, like you left your radio on, like giving him a nudge, like.
I don't think she knew. She would have said more secretively if she knew.
Maybe.
But anyways, the whole point was, so he's going through the window and we see a glimpse of his bookshelf. And I wrote down, I didn't write down the titles, but I wrote down some of the books that was on his bookshelf, and it's very telling of like, it goes hand in hand with his list that we saw earlier, but he's very much trying to catch up, and he's trying to catch up in like what POC asks people when we say to educate themselves. Like he's has books on like war, and he has books on politics, like women in politics. He has books on World War II. He has books on presidents. He has an Obama book. He has a Bush book. He has The Catcher in the Rye, which is a very, like, it's on, like, the banned book list, but it's also very popular.
Banned, like, for music?
Banned, B-A-N-N-E-D. Like.
Banned.
Yeah.
Banned.
Yeah.
Got it.
Yeah. So he's very much, like, trying to get educated and trying to get educated about, like, everything that he missed. Which
busy.
I feel like it's very interesting. And then also when he's walking through, you see it pan to, like, he has, like, more bookshelves. Like, he has a lot of books. This man reads.
What else he finna do? Go on dates?
Nope. Not those. Nat be trying.
She do. She's trying to get him out there. But, you know.
But yeah, you continue. I just wanted to point that out.
He gets down bad. Okay, he gets shot in the back 3 times, Fury. Boom, boom, boom. It's like, dang.
Yeah, I don't have anyone else I can trust.
Like, I'm sorry, but I got to be you. And he gives Captain America the drive, and oh my goodness, the nurse is an agent. And I'm like, oh, as soon as he said that, and then she comes in, I'm like, oh, we can't trust you, girl. Nope. My goodness, you better get out of here.
Yeah, I was hired by that man on the floor that's about to die.
Like, oh, LOL, this is awkward. My boss is dying in your apartment right now. But yeah, Cap is in pursuit of the assailant. And oh my goodness, he said F that office building. He's running through doors, he's running through walls, he's putting dents in walls. Like, imagine showing up to work next day like,
what the heck happened?
What the hell? What the hell? But like, that's crazy. And he is surprised by the Winter Soldier's strength. So he's like, who is this person?
He's
like,
never fought anyone
matching
the
strength.
Same match with him, except since like the Red Skull, I believe.
And it's like, oh snaps. Yeah, I'm like, did he even fight him hand in hand? Like, yeah, I feel like he did. Maybe on the ship.
Yeah, for a little bit.
But anyway, they get Captain,
which is ironic because like this whole thing, like the Winter Soldier, is because of the Red Skull too.
Ironic that they fight.
Yeah, like the last person who was able to like keep up with him. And like he was created because of the Red Skull and their peoples.
The craziness. All of this is because the Red Skull and their peoples. But we get Fury in surgery, and he's going through it down there.
Yes.
Cap gives Nat the rundown, and her reaction to what they tell her about the gunman, she knows him. She knows something about the assailant.
Very telling, yes.
Yeah, she's like, was it a Soviet-made gun?
Oh my gosh. Trauma. This scene, we also see like a different side of Nat, like not the like spy tough girl act. Like she's
Genuinely
worried
concerned. Yeah,
about
please
Nick.
don't do this to me, Nick. Please,
Yeah,
please. But he goes into VTech, and I'm like, dang, a little spoiler for the movie, I guess. But how much did he pay them people to fake his death, or did the doctors?
not a spoiler. We're right at the scene.
But no, like they don't know that it's a fake death.
Oh,
yeah,
I forgot about that part.
And so it's like, did Agent Hill slip him the stuff, or were the doctors in on it? Because like, how were they able to patch up everything? Everything was perfectly fine, and then as soon as like, what's his name? Hold on. As soon as Sitwell and Rumlau come into frame, like that's when he starts going into VTech.
I feel like they have. I was gonna say something else, but then you brought that point, so I changed my mind. I feel like they have, like they put in their own team, like not doctors who are affiliated with the hospital. Like they have their own doctor that they brought in to do the scene. So I don't think it's like paying someone off. It's someone who's already on their team.
Yes.
Who's already on payroll.
My only concern from that is like that will be someone that will be on S.H.I.E.L.D.'s payroll, and he now knows that he can't trust anyone from S.H.I.E.L.D. So like, how did that happen? Like, how did those dominoes fall into place?
They probably have their select few because he has Hill, and she's part of S.H.I.E.L.D. technically. They probably have like their small people, or like Hill has someone that she trusts. Yeah. I feel like it's less Nick and like more Hill.
That's real. But
because I feel like if they would have paid off a random doctor, that would have been too much liability.
Yeah. And like, I thought that it was random that Sitwell and Rumlau were here in the first place. I'm like, why are y'all here?
They're his friends.
Like they're two random agents. Like, this is so strange, so random. But I don't know. I thought that the time of death being at 103 was interesting. Like they were like, yeah, time of death 103, and I'm like, all right, what if this time is important? I'm gonna write it down. I don't think it is though. But anyway.
Keep it for later.
So they're viewing the body, and Heel volunteers to take his body. So I'm like, she knows instantly. She knows what she's like. I have to take him. Why?
That's bestie.
She knows something. But yeah, Nat is very impacted by this death. She's going through it. Shawty is shaking. We haven't seen her shaking this much since the Hawk almost took her out. And but
she does not.
I'm like, well, any of the other Avengers know about this?
No.
Like, is anyone gonna call Banner? Call Tony?
No.
Hey,
Nick's dead.
Man is down.
That is very interesting because like the next time we see these people is gonna be in Civil War.
Age of Ultron.
The next time we see these people is but Nick's not in Age of Ultron.
When they get saved and they go over to Baby Boy's house on the farm, and Tony goes in to fix the tractor.
Okay. The next time we see this is in Age of Ultron. So they like,
and they're fighting together.
So they have to. That is a good question. Like they have to know, like found out that he was. So they were probably invited to the funeral. But then like, when did they tell him like, hey, no, I'm actually alive?
Yeah,
because Hill did have a funeral for him.
Yes, he has a gravesite.
Yes,
and he's like, if anyone asks where I am, tell them that I'm right here. And like maybe
he just like texted them on the side. Like he probably just like called up Tony, like, yo, I'm not dead.
LOL. But everything in this movie is setting us up for Age of Ultron. Like that is everything that's being set up in this movie here, and we'll talk about it more at the end.
I say, yeah, I feel like it's more of like at the end when everything is like dismantled.
Yeah, I mean, like even from like the build up of this movie, like everything in this movie, yeah, is just setting up the plot so that everything can come down, so that everything can be ready for Age of Ultron. But yeah, he hides the drive in the vending machine behind some gum.
Hubba Bubba.
And like,
which is crazy. Like, you don't think people like Hubba Bubba?
Right. Like, but he's thinking like, who's chewing gum? It's a hospital. You should go visit your family or something. I just need to go handle something real quick and I'll be right back. Like, they gonna buy all 3 packs of gum?
Yep.
Maybe. But they have a meeting with Secretary Mrs. Sec, And everyone wants to know why Fury was in Cap's house. Like, everyone's asking, why was Nick there? Why was he in your house? He's like, bro, I don't know.
Guess it's as good as mine,
and
homie.
So Secretary says that Fury bugged Cap's apartment. He says he hired the pirates, and he's also letting him know that, there's a rumor that Fury stole classified information and tried to sell it, and the deal went sour, and that's why he's dead. And it's
which is all true besides that ending part.
Correct. And but see, the thing is, he's not telling him the information as to why Fury did these things. Mm-hmm. He's just making it he's trying to plant seeds of distrust. Yes, he's trying to plant seeds of distrust, but he's also threatening him. And it's like, it is.
Nobody's scared of him.
Literally, bro. But Cap, he goes on about his way. He's like, I'm gonna do what I need to do. But then we see the strike team go and confront him on the elevator. Everyone's piling on. Rumlau's making small talk. People were nervous. They sweating.
Their hands are on their gun.
Mm-hmm. The cabin keeps filling up with more and more people,
which is crazy.
Like, they just
need all these people.
They just keep adding layers and layers and layers,
and they still lost.
Exactly. They thought they were going to overwhelm him. They're like, oh my goodness, like, no.
This man has Captain America
punched Hitler in the face multiple times.
Over 100 times.
Hitler will stand no chance against Cap.
He didn't.
Little sissy art boy.
That's why he lost the war.
But Cap didn't even get to fight Hitler.
They don't even know that.
But it's no coincidence that all of this is happening after talking to the secretary. And this is the same thing that happened with Nick. Right after talking to the secretary, he gets gunned down. Right after talking with the secretary, he gets attacked in the elevator.
He doesn't like those answers.
He's like, yeah, no.
Also, like, Nat did warn Steve before in the hospital when she was asking him, like, why was Nick in your room, blah, blah, blah. She's like, you're a terrible liar. And I feel like we see that train of thought go through his head as he's talking to the secretary, because we see him telling the truth, because now it's like, whole truth. Now it's like, you're a terrible liar. She's like, okay, I'm not gonna lie, but I'm just not gonna give you everything.
Literally.
And apparently his name is Steven.
Yes. We've talked about this
off camera.
Oh, my bad. But yeah.
Steven Rogers. My life has been a lie.
See, that's too long. No, it's Steve.
Steve.
Always and forever Steve. But yeah, we see that Sitwell is in on the whole gag. He's sending agents to the floors that Captain America is trying to get off on, and you see he's like, you have nowhere to go. Jumps out the window. Who ain't got nowhere to go? I got somewhere to go. And then he's on his motorcycle trying to get away, and they're like, Captain, you need to stand down. Bro, he's running away. What do you mean stand down? He doesn't have a weapon in his hand. But he is the weapon. Like, he projects him.
Literally cold. Yes. He
acrobatic things.
He takes down the plane, right? Just himself, no weapon, no nothing.
Him and his shield.
Ride or die. That was a gift from his deceased friend.
Yeah.
Who also by fill in the blanks.
Anyway, though, so he gets away, yay, and he goes back to the hospital. He's like, all right, I need to get my drive.
All the hubba bubba is gone.
Snap slides in, popping gum, and I love how he's not afraid to manhandle her. He do not underestimate women here. He's like, you could take me down.
Oh, so yeah, he knows what Nat can do.
Exactly. He's not just, a woman beater, right? He's like, no, these hands are rated E for everybody.
I don't think he would actually hit her.
I think he would hit a woman if he needed to. Not Nat, that's his sister. That's family.
Right, yeah.
Right, family don't fight like that. But if he needed to take a widow down, he gonna take her down.
He gonna take a widow down.
He wouldn't be scared to take that little girl down in the pause. And what's that show called? Agent Carter.
I will say that I was just watching a TikTok of Captain America. Forget my train of thought.
I didn't make you do nothing.
Yes, Captain America, and they were like, "Yeah, I forgot Captain America does not care about not offing people." Like, it was him just flipping people around.
No, literally, bro.
That man is a soldier.
When I was watching him fight people on the ship, I was like, oh, Right.
You're not getting back up.
He's like, yeah, no, I don't care about none of that. None of that. I'm gonna do the right thing, and this is the right thing right here. Or like, even like that wasn't his main objective to kill them, but he's gonna incapacitate them.
What he needs to do.
Correct. But Nat, on the other hand, though, she was shooting everybody down.
That's what she was trained to do. There is no sleep, night.
She pointed the guns through the gate.
Her and her two little pistols.
Her and her Glocks for life.
And it's very interesting.
Glock.
I've been watching Daredevil, the old series, and all Daredevil is very tying with like Matt not wanting to off anyone. Yeah, that's like his core. Like,
he the only one. He cannot be on the Avengers.
His line. He would not be able to pick up Mjolnir.
No, because you need to kill. Do you got that dog in you?
That's
what they ask before you can pick it up. If it's no, then you can't pick it up.
I don't remember that scene in Age of Ultron.
Oh, I'll have to show it to you. Don't worry.
We'll see at the end of the season.
For sure.
Subscribe to see that episode.
She's like, I only pretend like I know everything, Roger. Like, please. But anyway, though, he has some trust with her. He's like, all right, well, we'll see. We'll see what we do here. But we have another meeting, and Secretary, he jokes about his recognition, but the council's like, yeah, no, for real. It's going to be a conversation for later. He's like, whoa.
Like, thought we were joking.
Like, what you mean? What you mean? And like, they're very determined to get the project insight up. And this is the scene where I'm like, bro, like, y'all need some humanitarians. Like, everybody can't be scared like this. Like, this is not good.
That's what this time is.
Why do you think that it's okay to point a gun at everybody? That's so stupid. But they're on the move. They're trying to figure things out. Cap and Nat. And they use
Nat. Steve was 26. Sorry.
So they use PDA to avoid detection multiple times here. And they find out that the drive is made in New Jersey. So they got to get there, but they got to get out of the mall first. They said they only got 9 minutes from the time that they plug it in for them to get there. So they're doing the things. Yes, they talk about how they're doing their honeymoon to the location. They do a little laugh situation to like ha 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 ha, and then they have a sweet little smooch on the escalators.
Right. People are very uncomfortable with PDA.
He's like, yeah, I know. And she's like, no, come here, give me a smooch. And throughout this whole movie, they're giving lots of work wife, work husband vibes. Like, it's crazy.
Oh, that's not the vibe that
lots of flirty and eye looking, and it's like, I understand that it's just, it's just the way that she is, just what she's doing.
Yeah, I feel like the way that I saw it, I feel like Nat is used to having to flirt with her coworkers, like men, like when we see her in Iron Man 2, like having to like do that to, I don't know, get some respect or like be heard by these coworkers besides like Clint and Nick. So I feel like that's her first thought is okay, I'm gonna flirt with this man. Like, this is like our little giggle, our little gag,
our little
kiki, like not having barely any girl like connections and whatnot. He's like just chill because I feel like he doesn't pick it up.
Yeah,
I feel like he doesn't know that Nat is like flirting with him for fun. I would love to see though, because we know Sam is a flirt. I would have loved to have seen like Sam and Nat interact more. Yeah, like very playful, very lighthearted, like joking flirtness, or like not even flirting. I feel like just like what they call being friendly. Yeah, I feel like that would have been like a very interesting scene.
Yeah, but no, when they got together, it was strictly business. They had, we need to get the mission done. But yeah, they send them out to New Jersey. Their information sends them to New Jersey.
Get your feet off the dash.
We're borrowing. Where did you learn to steal a car? In Germany. Like, leave me alone. Anyway, but he sees that he's being sent to his old training grounds. He's like, oh my goodness. We get a little flashback of the pole and he being so skinny, having to run, barely keep up. And then he's like, they're looking around. They don't see anything familiar. They're like, bro, like, what's going on? I mean, anything out of place? And he's like, you're not supposed to keep ballistics X amount of feet away. This building is in the wrong place. And so that makes me wonder, like, did they demolish the building that was originally like supposed to be holding the things that like that looked like that, and then they rebuilt a new one? Or was there never a building like that at that location?
I don't think there was a building right there.
Well, I feel like if there wasn't a building right there, he would have said like, this building is new, but he just said this building is in the wrong place.
Yeah.
So maybe, yeah, it was supposed to be a building like that there, but whatever. They see that this is the OG Shield, and it's like, it's crazy. This organization is just built on top of secrets because they have a secret hidden office already, and then they have a secret elevator.
Is there a secret elevator in a secret office?
Dun dun dun. And we see that they kept Dr. Zola alive. Why did they keep Dr. Zola alive?
This is also a side note, very interesting, because we'll see in the scene that whenever someone finds out their secret that they get, and we get a hint at like that's the reason why Howard was killed.
Correct.
But it's very interesting that like Peggy died not knowing. Like she has no idea that
the beautiful baby that she has created
was like infiltrated and like taken
the whole time. And like, bro, it honestly makes me feel like that's what they get, because why would Howard and Peggy both being on the team, knowing what Dr. Zola did, why would they willingly recruit him onto the team?
I mean, I don't know.
Yeah, no excuses for them.
So I would say they recruited his brain, but like not. He explained why, like what project he was brought on to. I just don't remember.
Like it was called Operation Paperclip, where Shield brought in a bunch of different German intelligence.
I feel like knowing Peggy, I feel like this was probably like one of those like redemption things, like. Everyone doesn't stay evil. Like we have to give people a second chance to change and blah blah blah.
And look where that got your organization, Peggy. She in heaven rolling over. My goodness, can't believe this. But anyway, yeah. And this is the start of Hydra infiltration, and they have been wreaking havoc on the world for 70 years. Planting wars and all types of problems, also that they can throw people into chaos to convince themselves that the lack of control is what was going to stop the chaos.
Yeah, you can't take away people's freedom. For some reason, they revolt.
I can't believe this. What?
Which is such a crazy thought to like not take into consideration.
And I just think it's very interesting how they use, Zola talks about how they use the Winter Soldier to, change the world and to, take people out that are enemies of their way. Yeah, I mean, exactly. And it's like, okay, so Hydra gets dismantled, gets discombobulated, thrown all over the place for at least a good couple of years before S.H.I.E.L.D. is started up. Bucky is with the Soviets, I'm guessing. He gets picked up by Russia. How did he then get back into the control of Hydra?
Is Bucky with Russia in the movies? Or is that just comics? Because when I looked it up, it was based off the comics. What I said.
About like him being picked up by the Russians?
Yeah.
They don't ever explicitly show him being with Russia, I don't believe.
So maybe that's just like comic and movie differences. Like maybe in the MCU he's not picked up by Russia.
But then why is it that he has like the red star on his shoulder, very similar to the Red Soldier? That's his name, right? Yeah. Natasha's dad?
I don't know who that is.
Bro, you don't remember Natasha's dad being in the red suit? Like,
oh, him?
Yes.
Oh,
Red Soldier. I think that's what his name is.
Yeah, the Red Room. Is that Russian though?
Yes, the Red Room is Russian. Natasha is from Russia. He is Russian.
We had that conversation though, that they brought in like not just Russians though.
But like, nonetheless, like the Red Room is Russian, and like the star is similar to their Russian Captain America.
Yeah, but Bucky's not a part. I know what you're saying.
And then also he has Soviet-made materials, which is a part of Russia.
I feel like maybe as we go into the future more with him, maybe it's less country oriented. Maybe it's just people, like the organization.
What I do think was Russian though, like when we see in Civil War, where we see that they're trying to make more super soldiers and they created a band of people. I think that group is Russian.
Well, that's where he was there though too. So maybe it's just Hydra with Russia. Like maybe it's just Russian Hydra.
Maybe. Yeah, maybe.
Like they you were saying, Hydra is split up across the world. So
and like the guy was saying at the end.
part of Hydra, and then they were like, "Hey, we need the
Russian
over in
division.
US." Yeah.
That's real. That's real.
Also, I'm very confused because when Zola comes on the screen, he says Natalia. What the heck did they say? Alinovia Romanov.
Mm-hmm.
But everyone calls her Natasha for her full name. So is her name Natasha or is it Natalia?
I think that her born given name is the Natalia Romanov, whatever, and
then
that
her Red Room name is Natasha.
I think that'd be more her American name.
Mm-hmm.
Like, you know how our Hmong friends, they have their Hmong name and then they have their English name.
In Russian though.
But still, it's like a more Americanized name.
Natasha is, for me personally, I feel like that's more Russian than Natalia.
We don't know the information they do. Maybe Natalia's more standoutish
or maybe
in their field.
I would say maybe a longer point. Maybe it's like her, like the name her mom gave her, and then when she went to like the Red Room, they switched it.
Dun dun dun.
Because Zila would know that information.
Mm-hmm.
That man is like the whole room. You see his lights, the computers in the back that were like lighting up and
he's the internet. Surprise.
No, literally.
Dun dun dun.
But
also, what?
Also, I feel like his personality from Captain America, the first one, to this one is very different. Like, we see his confidence grow in a sense, because when he's under the Red Skull, he's very like quiet and timid.
Sheepish.
Like, he's very, he's like scared of the Red Skull, and I feel like you get questioned if like, is he a part of Hydra like free willingly, or like is he there because he's scared? Like, what's going on in his brain? And then when you get here, it's like, no, like I'm Hydra, like this is the right thing to do, blah 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 blah.
I think that he definitely had some fear of the Red Skull, but like he's fully into this. Like, you know, he's a scientist. He's not even German, but for some reason he loves his German cause, and like he wants to ride hard for it. Because at the end of season 1 of Agent Carter, we see him like, this is the land of opportunity. Like, we have opportunity here. And it's, this is, him being involved here is like honestly so idiotic. I don't understand. But they sacrifice him, and
he sacrificed himself.
Sort of, kind of, because he told them where they were. But like the people in charge, he's like, like we already lost Zola trying to get after them, but they blow it down.
Which
they
is
don't
crazy.
succeed, and they're like, okay, we need to call in the weapon, which is AKA Winter Soldier. Winter Soldier, he goes to meet with the secretary, and we really see how bad of a man of the secretary is. Like, baby girl, she's like, I left my phone. Oh no, what's going on here?
Knocked.
Bow, bow. Shut her twice.
Also, why is a grown man going home and getting a glass of milk? He went in the fridge, poured himself a tall glass of milk.
He didn't pour himself a tall glass. He got a glass, but he only poured this much in there, which I know.
So he's taking a shot of milk?
And I'm like, bro. And then offering it to people, but hey, they love milk. They love it. That's their jam. Calcium. Gotta get your bones strong. I don't know. People,
isn't that a hoax?
People really like milk, bro. I don't know what to tell you. Like, they drink that shit.
Anyways.
It's wild. Anyway, though, we meet up with Sam. We're like, please, I need some help. What?
We get to see who the Winter Soldier is.
Oh, yes. I skipped that note. LOL. Winter Soldier is confirmed that it's Bucky. Oh, no. Oh, my gosh. But, yes. Nat is...
Call my man for anywhere.
Nat is shaking in her boots once again. She's like,
I just died.
That, and she's like, bro, I literally just traded the KGB for Hydra. Like, is that
is that a question mark? Is that the Red Room's like real name? Is that like their code name?
No,
like,
KGB, that's Russian stuff. Like, that's like Russian organization, Russian government vibes. So it's not just a Marvel thing. Like, that's real life. KGB is a real thing in the world.
So, like, is the Red Room under that? Like,
perhaps.
how Hydra is?
Yeah.
Okay.
And she's like, yeah, like, I thought I know whose lies I was telling, but, like, I don't know anymore.
She's having a crisis through this whole movie. Like, you thought
Correct.
Cap was having a mental crisis, like,
baby girl
midlife crisis. She is also having a midlife crisis.
Dun, dun, dun. And, she's just feeling very grateful to Cap. And he's like, oh, my goodness, like, do you trust me? Yeah, like, do you trust me with your life now? He's like, I do now. And it's like, okay, I do
now, Pookie.
I can see how this is the start of their familial bond. And like, all right, very nice, very nice. And Sam is very eager to help out Cap. He's like, yeah,
like, if it's
I ain't find no pain, but like,
helping and I'm getting
this is the best reason. Like, no reason better than this.
The only person that can tell me what to do is you, Cap. All right, listen, nobody else. I'm here for you. Which is so interesting. We didn't talk about this earlier, but like, Sam mentions how he's like, yeah, like, I get to live and no one has to tell me what to do anymore. And then we get to the present and where he is in his own solo movie working for the government and like someone telling him what to do. Like, yeah, how times have changed, how the tables have turneth
all the time. And so then we see the senator, the loser senator from the Iron Man movies that's always causing problems with Sitwell. That's who was like, oh, I like your pen, Hell Hydra.
That's why his face looked familiar.
Correct.
Like, where else is he from?
The MCU. Well, and we see Sam with his wings. We see him in action for the first time. I never said
pilot.
Look at here.
Which is also like but we see the military is still like experimenting with their soldiers, even if it's not like serum based. Like, yeah,
like, how can we have an advantage? Yeah, in the field. And it wasn't just him; it was another soldier as well. So I wonder, like, was that just a them two thing? Because we don't ever see anyone else again with Falcon wings until we get a new Falcon.
Right.
And so yeah, I was like, was it just a private division of them two?
Yeah, I think because they
special skill set.
They probably did other things because they have what is his name? The annoying guy
in the new movie?
No, Tony's best friend.
Happy?
His other best friend. The black one.
Oh, Rhodey?
Yeah, they have him and his suit.
Yeah,
Iron Patriot.
Right. But he starts spilling the beans. He's like, okay, here, let me tell you everything. Just please don't throw me off of another building. Zola's algorithm, here's what it does. It evaluates people's past to determine their future using voting records, messages, likes, etc. to target any potential threats to Hydra.
For example, Tony Stark, Stephen Strange, and some other names. We're trying right now.
Yeah, and we see them get picked up on the ship at the end.
I tried to look and see if they put like another Easter egg in there, but it was too blurry.
Yeah.
So only name you should keep in mind is Stephen Strange, which is crazy because back then, just a doctor.
Right. I didn't even
narcissistic doctor.
I didn't even peep that we don't know who he is in the MCU yet. Because when I heard it, I was like, right, like, duh. But no, like, no one knows who that is yet. So that was nice that you brought that up.
Very much like watching this for the first time. Like, I was thinking if I was watching this for the first time, I very much would be confused. Because they give you everything as it goes along. Like, you learn as the characters learn.
Correct.
Which I like. So, yeah. And I don't know what else I was going with that.
But on the way to S.H.I.E.L.D., Winter Soldier rips Sitwell. He's like, yeah, you gotta go immediately. They're planning in the car. They're like, yo, so we're just gonna use Sitwell's face card to get us inside. Sitwell's like, wait, no, please, hold on a second.
I didn't remember that he died so quickly.
Me neither. I was like, oh, he threw him out of the window. Got hit by a car. I was like, oh, and you're done. No more Agent Sitwell. Thank you very much. No, for real. Hey, I'm ready.
Pistols.
Ready to go. But Nat almost takes Winter Soldier out. You know, they shoot out on the expressway.
Her favorite move with him, this is like a little further into their fighting, is like going around his neck like a little spider. Like she does that multiple times when they fight. Just so interesting because she doesn't do that with anyone else.
Trying to get that advantage. I think it's because like his neck is exposed. Like that's the least armored and secure part. So it's like, how can I like see the weakest point on him and attack that? So yeah, if it wasn't for his glasses though, he would have been taken out, and he definitely took it personally.
No, literally,
he's like, I'm going after her. No, y'all find Captain America.
I was like, you broke my glasses. Now I'm pissed.
Like, ugh, I can't believe this. And yeah, we already talked
which is so interesting because we get to see, I feel like when you think of him, you think of just a mindless soldier. But like you see in the scene, he still has his own thought processes
and feelings. Yeah.
Yes. Like that was very much still like Bucky. Like, you broke my glasses. Like, the heck?
And we see that Nat almost gets got. Okay, she gets shot in the shoulder, and he was about to get her until Cap came to save the day. And they get to tussle, and Cap finally sees.
Oh, I forgot about that.
Oh my goodness, this is Bucky. And we see that something changes in Bucky's eyes as well.
Who is Bucky?
Who is Bucky?
The name triggered something.
Exactly. And Cap's face also triggers something. The name and Cap's face trigger something, because we can see in the in the scene a little bit further, he's like getting flashbacks and memories of this. But they get captured by the Strike team. Strike is ready to take Cap out right here and there. He's like, you beat me up in the elevator. Like, I'm finna get you.
Like, relax.
And they see a helicopter. It's an audience, not right here. They're finna take them to some random alley, random back way.
3 holes, start digging.
Like, whoa, chill, bro. But Hill comes to the rescue. He's like, hey, like, she's gonna bleed out. And then we think that they're trying to be aggressive to him. Nope. Gets her little partner there, and we take the team to, the little secret facility. Nat, also, Nick is still alive. Nat.
Little fun fact, I believe the doctor in that scene is one of the Russo brothers.
Oh, that's cute.
His face looked familiar.
Word. But yeah, we see that Nick is still alive. He used some medication that didn't work for Banner that slows the heartbeat down to 1 beat per minute, and so he was able to look like he flatlined. And what I think is interesting though is like, how was he breathing and like not being detected that he was breathing when they were viewing his body? Because even though his heart is only beating at 1 beat per minute, does that mean like his breath is also going super slow? Because like, how much is that related? Like, your brain still needs oxygen, so like, how was there no impact to your brain? Like, with your brain doesn't get oxygen for a little bit, your brain cells start dying, and those do not come back.
I don't know.
But anyway, we get an update on the Winter Soldier. Okay, baby boy. What?
Before this, when they're all discovering that Nick is still alive, blah blah blah, and he's talking about like why he didn't tell them, and you're like, yeah, I didn't know who to trust. And you can like back to what you're saying about seeing Nat's face, like she's sad. She's hurt by this. Like, we see earlier that she's fighting with, like, can people trust me? Can I not trust these other people? And we see, like, she's like, oh, like, Nick doesn't trust me. Like,
and I feel like it's less about, oh my goodness, like, I couldn't go to Nat because I can't trust her. I think it was more like,
the less people that know that better.
Correct. That, and like they would assume it would be you that knows everything. Yeah. Because like, one, you walk and talk like you know everything, and like so many of my secrets. So it's like, this will probably be best if it was in both of you guys' hands. And I think it was like, that you'll be able to get on Cap's good side, but it's like, how is it for sure that Cap will be able to get in with you? I feel like that was a better execution of that. But yeah, definitely could see that it was hurting her feelings. But they're barking orders at him like a dog. Winter Soldier, that is. They're just like, you need to give me a mission report. Give me a mission report right now. Slapping him in the face and such. And I'm like, bro. Like,
but I knew him.
And it's like, dang. Wipe him clean. They're just treating him like he's not a whole person.
That's what he's designed for. Which is so interesting, though, too, because he comes in, he's like, your work is so amazing. Like, you've done so much for the organization. Like, still trying to, like, keep him in this brainwashed state.
Yeah. But after this, they have a meeting in a cave with Nick, and he's like, I want to salvage what's left of S.H.I.E.L.D. Cap is like, no.
Oh, heck no.
What are you talking about? And it's like, why do you think that there's anything left to salvage when it's been compromised since the beginning?
Also, when you don't trust anyone, too.
Yeah, it's like, what are you going to salvage?
Yeah.
What is there left to salvage, baby boy? And, it's just him being caught up in that survival brain. How can we get it back to how it was? It's like, no.
I feel like it'd be very interesting to hear Nick's past and, like, why he is the way he is. Like, we see part of it is due to, like, his granddad, like, him, like, granddad loved people, but he didn't trust them. Like, having that instilled in him very young, and, like, how his background attributes to, like, how he acts.
Yeah, definitely would like to see more information. We need a Marvel's origin stories for each one of them.
Literally. We never got it. We're not gonna, it's too late for him.
Yeah, I wonder if, there's information in comics that we can see. But, Cap, he goes get some fresh air, and he got Bucky on his mind. And he has a flashback of his dad's funeral. No. Yeah.
Parents, both.
No, it was his mom's funeral at the time. Because she's like, yeah, she got buried next to dad.
Oh, yeah.
So dad was already in the ground, and then she went in the ground after. And he's trying to get, get back home. And baby boy's Bucky, he's like, me and my parents, we waited for you. We didn't see you. He's like, no, like, I'm just trying to get by on my own. And he's like, but you don't have to. And it's like, oh, dang.
I waited till the end of the line.
Here Sam come talking about, yeah, we need to kill that man. Whoa, read the room, Sam. Come on. He's like, there can only be one bestie, and it's me. You gotta go. It's like, Sam, you're so jealous. Calm down.
No, he doesn't know their history.
He don't care. He's like, whatever. He's like, I know you used to knew him in the past, but that man is gone. Cap's like, we'll see. He like, okay.
My captain. It's very interesting, though, to see the three of their relationships, because at the end of the movie, we see Sam is willing to, like, go with Cap to find Bucky, and so he spends all these time, and I don't know if it's years or not, but he spends all this time, like, until Civil War, looking for Bucky with Cap. And then we see, like, them and their relationship in the beginning, like, it's very stale, because you was trying to fight me, you was trying to kill me, you was trying to kill my man, and then I spent all these years, like, looking for you. Like,
it's like, it's more so in assistance of Captain America. Like, I am a useful asset to Captain America. I can help him out, so it's like, I'm gonna do that in honor of this. It's like, this has nothing to do with who you are, Bucky, and, like, who you are as the Winter Soldier. Like, my loyalty is with Cap, and I'm trying to help him out, so he's not fighting this alone.
But they besties now, so it's okay.
Yeah. But he takes off. He's like, all right, you're gonna fight a war, you're gonna need a uniform. And we get to see Stan, security guard Stan. He's like, I'm gonna lose my job.
I know right where to get one.
The OG,
which is
original stitching and everything.
Very synonym for interesting, because at this point, Cap has a mission. Like, he knows what he's doing. He has a right, not a right. What is it? What was he saying earlier? He's I don't know. He's missing purpose and whatnot. And so now, like, when he has purpose, he has his reasoning for, like, fighting. When he's back in, like, his OG suit, when he had, like, a purpose.
And I think, yes, I agree with that. And I also think that this is to help trigger Bucky's memory. Like, look at this. Remember this? I was fighting with you side by side in this, Pookie. Come on.
Should just take him to the museum.
He go by himself. So, we are getting ready for the boss fight. We're getting teed up. So, first of all, we get Cap on the speaker. Well, honestly, before that, I just wanted to mention that as they're walking up to the building, we only see we only see Sam, Cap, and Hill. And it's like, where's Nat? What's she doing?
This was, like, watching this for the first time, this was the biggest... Like, there's so many of those moments in this movie.
Definitely. But yeah, Cap, he gets on the PA with his motivational speech. Very classic. He's like, I bet. He said, if I'm the only one that got to fight for what's right, I'll do it.
Then so be it.
But I bet I won't. I bet I'm not the only one.
Captain's orders.
We not doing nothing for you. That guy, he stood up. Everyone was looking around like, oh my goodness, like what he gonna do? What he gonna do? He's like, no, I can't give you the access. I'm not gonna launch it. Mm-hmm.
And then he hit on the table.
Yeah.
Why is she the? Okay, she's not the only one armed. Why aren't they all armed?
Because they're computer people.
Then why is she in there too?
I don't know. HBICs get guns. You gotta type on the keyboard. You don't.
HBICs.
Head B word in charge.
Oh.
Mm-hmm.
I was like HBCUs. What they gotta do with this movie?
Why they need guns? We not even. What, bro? No. But yeah, Sharon, she stands on business, and Sam,
we get to see what side she's on. Because I feel like in the beginning, there's kind of like a question mark over it. Because they're like, yeah, don't trust anyone at Shield. So it's like, okay, can we trust her? Like, did Nick really hire you?
Yeah, and it also kind of shows her critical thinking skills when she's like, when everyone's like, we need to get Captain America, like he's a fugitive of S.H.I.E.L.D. now. And it's like, if he's a fugitive of S.H.I.E.L.D., we have the right to know. Right, he was just our savior. What's going on here?
Which is also interesting where we see her go in the future as well.
Like in terms of like her
character.
Her switch?
Yeah.
How is that interesting compared to now?
Because of like
it's okay.
Why are you asking me questions? No, because of who she is and like her standing up and with Captain America and like standing for what's right. Even like her joining the CIA after S.H.I.E.L.D. goes down and then seeing her switch. I mean, it makes sense because her switch is after Civil War.
After Civil War and also after the blip.
Yes, but it's just interesting to see her character change.
Yeah. They all change. They really know how to do some character development up in here. But Sam, he has a lot of commentary. I ain't gonna lie, I think the first time that I was watching this, I was like, dang, why don't he shut up?
That's very funny to talk about because one of his scenes, he's like, man, shut up.
Exactly.
He's like, you're talking too much.
Like, you talk a lot, like, bro, like, you was talking a lot. You don't remember your first mission with Cap? You was so excited. Dang. But now that I like him more as a character.
You didn't like him back in the day?
It's not that I didn't like him. It's just he was talking a lot. Who's this random guy with wings talking a whole bunch? Shh. Fight. Just fight. But we find that she is hidden as, one of the council members. They...
Gas, fake skin.
We see that baby boy, he was finna take them all out. He's like... Yeah, you want to take me out? No, I'm finna take you out. And we launching these things and we fighting for Hydra. Because baby boy gets on the PA and he spills all the beans. He's like, yeah, you've been working for Hydra this whole time. And the council member's like, what, bro?
And he doesn't care as long as he gets those things up.
Correct.
Like yeah, Nat's like, I'm gonna put all this on the web. He's like, okay, put it on the web.
Like, they gonna know about you.
She's like,
they gonna know about you too.
Yeah. We can do this all day.
Literally. And
I feel like that point is never hit on in the future, though. Like, I feel like no one ever questions Nat after, like, her stuff is online.
I think that it comes down to who is going to read all of those files for real, except for people that are really, really interested. But it's like there's a niche, small group of few that's really going to be interested and, like, care about that kind of stuff. And plus, a lot of it was also encrypted as well, as we learn in Age of Ultron, when Zemo is like, yeah, like, I read the files about everything, and a lot of it was encrypted. That's why I'm like, yeah, a lot of this is just setting up for Age of Ultron, because even the files being released, like the coming down of S.H.I.E.L.D., like, that is all very important for Age of Ultron. And Civil War.
Stay tuned for when we watch that later in the season.
Yeah. But they get everything up on the internet, like you were saying. And I just want to know, where did the real council lady go, though? Like, did they just knock her out?
Yeah, put in the
or did they let her know, like, you're not safe, you should stay here?
At least she got to live.
For real, because all the rest of them died. R.I.P.
That would have been... She was probably pissed that, like, she got knocked out, but, like, now you should be thankful. Like, you're alive.
You're alive. You didn't have no hand in all the stickiness. But we see the air crew for S.H.I.E.L.D. They're like, we're the only air support Captain America has. Winter Soldier come through, wrecks them all, throws one guy in the engine. I'm like, oh my god. One guy thinks he's safe. The door's closing. Throw a bomb in there. Boom. Dang. Like, dang. Sadness.
Have you noticed, I forgot to bring this up earlier, but whenever Winter Soldier is on screen, he has the same music in the background.
Oh.
Also, they make his arm make sound effects. I don't know if they do that in the future. I feel like it's very, like, Winter Soldier coded, because, like, he's a mindless soldier.
Right.
Like, he's like a robot at this point. So, like, whenever he's...
Same music going through his head.
Whenever he's fighting, his arms are like...
Wow, I did not notice that. Good info. But, yes. Okay. Yes, they die viciously at the hands of Winter Soldier. And then we see that Fury has some more tricks up his sleeve, his creepy eye.
So yeah, I still got
one more piece of data in the system. And it's like, okay, so what is that data classified as in the system then? It's not.
Mystery eye?
Like, for real, like, bro, like, what's going on here? Excuse me. But we see that the secretary didn't account for this, and he's like, dang. Dang. And
it's okay. His things are still going up.
Yeah, they still
think he got the one up.
He think he gonna win, but you never win. But now we see that Cap has to fight Buck. He's like, please don't make me do this. And it's like, nah, we gotta do it.
Right.
And it'll be different if like he kept what he was saying to himself, then they wouldn't have wiped his mind, and then it would have been a different conversation. But you know, he wasn't exactly. Yeah. He didn't. You know, he was still lost in that fog.
I mean, but we do see like Cap is only fighting him to get the mission done.
Correct. And
once the mission is done, I'm not gonna fight you.
Like, please. There's no reason to tussle.
You know me.
No, I don't. But
also
what?
When they're fighting, his shield gets flown off of the ship.
At the end of the fight, when he's like, I'm not gonna fight you anymore.
Yeah.
Mm-hmm.
Oh, we're not there yet? Should I wait?
Yes.
Okay.
But, he gets shot 3 times.
Oh, we're up here. Yeah. I wrote down, why isn't his suit bulletproof?
Because he got his shield made out of vibranium. That's all the bulletproofing he needs.
Clearly not.
No, literally. He gets shot in the abdomen. He gets a graze, and he gets shot faster.
In the leg. Yeah, don't mean nothing.
No, rule. Like, he can still die. The heck? But,
also, yeah, like we were saying earlier, one of the only people to, like, ever, like, hit Cap, I think. Like, to, like, actually graze his skin with a bullet.
Mm-hmm. More than that, penetrated, too.
Yeah.
Multiple times. Like, wow. But we get a flashback to the office, and Nat gives herself a nice shot, because he's like, yeah, like, you want a hole in your sternum, too? Then you better come with me.
Okay, but why didn't she take that off when she saw the other people, like, on the floor?
I think that because he kept his eye on her, and like it was kind of like he was holding a gun to her, so like if she moved, then boom. And it's also like, what if there's too much information that she doesn't know about, like what if it automatically triggers if I try to take it off? Because he said it was armed as soon as she pinned it on. Like, will I even be able to take it off? But I know for sure that if I shock it, that's what I was thinking too. But it's like, oh, if she tried to move, then I don't know. Too many factors. She's like, I need to know for certain for something that's gonna work, and like what the result is gonna be.
That's absolutely. I feel like there's a lot of characters that you can like, not a lot of characters. I feel like you could paint characters who are like her, who have the history that she has, and like they're doing missions that are doing them not to like redeem themselves or like
to get punishment, to feel pain.
Yeah, and like who aren't worried about their future, who like are just doing it, and if something happens, then something happens. Yeah. But Nat is very much in survival mode, like all the time. Yeah.
And yeah, she gives herself a nice shock, and Nick shoots her down. Bro, dying. Talk about Hell Hydra. Bro, nobody cares. Nobody cares. Hydra's dying too.
One head, 2 are going this place.
And if you say the phrase when you die, that's how you know it's gonna work. Like, they got a lot of belief in their system.
It do work.
You're right. You're not wrong. But now we are at the point where Cap has gotten everything secure. The ships are going down, and he's like, "Bucky, I'm not gonna fight you anymore." And he drops his shield, and it falls right through the crack and goes right into the river.
Disappears.
I think that goes into the Potomac River.
I wouldn't know. Where does it go?
In the water.
Yeah, but like when he pulls it out, like how does Cap get his shield back? Like when he pulls him out the water, he doesn't have his shield.
Correct. And
just magically washes up.
I would say that when they were cleaning the wreckage, that they may have found him, because they have to clean up the mess, and they're like, oh, look, this is here in the mess, but I'm just like, there is so much information being lost in between the ending of this movie and the beginning of Age of Ultron, because we start the movie with them in a fight. They're fighting the missions that we end off on from this movie. They're fighting,
as the Avengers. Correct. And Thor's there.
Correct. Like, when did they send out a beacon?
There's no Thor. Well, Thor 2 is before this. So, that is remade.
Right. But I'm just like...
And there's no...
But, like, what kind of communication do they have with Thor? Like, they can't just call him up on the phone.
I think he's more... No, I think he is. He's more engaged with Jane.
Yeah,
so
I was just about to say,
like,
on
maybe. Earth more.
Mm-hmm.
But, there's, like... The movies in between this and Age of Ultron don't help. Because I think the only movie is Guardians of the Galaxy.
Boo.
Which isn't relevant to this part of, like, the MCU.
At all.
And, that's it. It's literally just Guardians of the Galaxy. And then Ant-Man is after Age of Ultron. Ooh. So we literally go from...
No answers.
We literally go from this movie... I feel like... I don't know. That's not even right either. Yeah, we go from this movie to Age of Ultron. Like, we know that Banner and Tony are in connections because of the end of Avengers. We know that Thor...
And the end of Iron Man 3.
Yes. And... therapist. And we know that Cap and Nat are together. But yeah, like, Thor... Maybe Nick, like, might have, like... called them up after they were doing what they needed to do, like after he went around and kind of struck down the rest of Hydra, which maybe that's what they're doing.
I know that that's what they're doing, because that's how they find the scepter and the. Okay, just hold on, because we're gonna talk about that.
Okay,
but I wanted you to say what you needed to say about Cap being found. Pulled out of the river. That's all you needed to say. You were like, how did he get his shield back?
Yeah, that was it.
Okay, cool. But no, very important conversation though. So the end resolution that we have is that Cap he's gonna make it. Okay, he's in the hospital.
Also, who picked him up though?
No, literally, he was so far away from the wreckage, but I guess they were looking for him.
No, Bucky literally was like, okay, you're not drowning, I'm gone.
No, literally, he's like, I need to go figure out my life. I need to go figure it out, please.
But it also makes sense because he knows, like, if someone would have saw him with Cap, they would have got the wrong idea.
Yeah. And they would have tried to attack and blah, blah. It's like, secret. But.
Poor guy.
Yeah. We get Shannon. She joins the CIA because S.H.I.E.L.D. has been dismantled. Yeah. She goes and applies. She joins Stark Industries. Rumlow survives. We see his burnt body being, taken care of by the doctors.
We'll see him later.
Senator, he gets arrested.
Do we see him ever again?
I don't think so. Probably because he's in jail. Yeah. And then press conference with Nat. And, bro.
Her press conference gave very much Tony Stark, too.
Absolutely. 100%. Starky.
Like, you're not going to do anything anyway, so.
Yep. Exactly. And I'm just like, it's so annoying to see the play dumb act that politicians put on, and not even just in movies but in real life too. But in the situation that I'm talking about, he's like, how is the country supposed to maintain now without our intelligence agency? Bro, you literally have the CIA, you have the FBI, you have all these other agencies. What do you mean, how are we going to operate without an intelligence agency? Like, please stop playing dumb right now.
It also takes them a really long time to make a new one. It takes them until WandaVision, until after the blip.
But it's like, still, like, you have you have other organizations in place. But that also just, like, I take back from that stance when I remember what you say, when you had talked about, like this is a different time, people's worlds have been rocked because aliens exist and they literally came to attack us. So it's like we have to have more reliance on these special kind of agencies in integrations or whatever. But
we're seeing everyone's split apart.
Yes, Fury, he burns all of his stuff. He goes to visit his grave.
Takes off his eye mask to just go buy a new one.
No, he put glasses on.
I mean, after this.
Oh, yeah. But, like, during this time, people need to think that he is dead, so they can't see a black man walking around with an eye patch. They might think it's him.
But then he puts it back on.
Later. Like, when there's no more threat to his life.
Doesn't he stay dead?
Perhaps. So maybe it's like enough time has elapsed for people to not be looking for me.
Okay.
I can be a different random black man with an eye patch. Don't be racist. But yes.
Nat is going to find herself again.
Yeah, and she's like, "You should go hit up Shannon, please."
Right, that nurse.
And I'm like,
she ain't a nurse.
And she ain't a shield agent. So I also wonder though, like, does she know about her lineage?
What do you mean?
Shannon's lineage.
Oh,
who
Shannon?
she's related to.
No.
Yeah. Why not?
Does Nat know?
Yeah.
Why would Nat know?
Why wouldn't she know?
No. I don't even think she knows when Cap finds out. Because the only person he talks to about is Sam.
Yeah, that's what I'm saying. Like, we can't know that she doesn't know. Because she knows so many secrets.
I would assume no. Because, like, why would she be keeping tabs on, like, a random... She didn't even know she was a SHIELD agent. I don't think she knew who Shannon was. Like, I don't think she ever, like...
But, like, she mentioned, she was like, oh, she's not a nurse. And he's like, yeah, you're not a SHIELD agent. So, like, she knows that there's no...
I mean at the end. I mean before. Like, when she was first talking about it. Because I think she just brought her up because Cap might have said something. Or, like, she knew, like, someone lived next. But she didn't, like... She couldn't have been, like... pointing her out like, yo, that's the nurse. Like, I don't think she was in his building to see who the nurse was.
Not like that, but it's like she is so involved with SHIELD and with Fury and like all of the different kind of secrets. Like, she knows a lot of secrets. So I don't know. I don't put it past her to not know. I just don't think that she may know about like Peggy, because he was like, oh, like, who's the lady, when they saw Peggy's picture up on the wall, and like he didn't say anything about it.
So then we're on the same page.
I think that she maybe didn't know about Steve's relationship to Peggy, but like maybe she knew about Shannon's relationship to her.
No. If she knew about one, she would know about the other.
Mm-mm.
Everyone knows about Cap. They had a whole series about it. A radio show.
Yeah, back in the day. That wasn't when Natasha was alive rolling around.
But still, everyone knows about Cap and Peggy's relationship.
So then why would she ask him about the girl? Like, oh, who's the lady? She would have known then. I just don't count her out to not know secrets. But nonetheless, we see the end credit scene, the first one. And
Cap and Sam are going to find Bucky.
Right, yeah. I forgot that part. Anyway, he gets the documents about the Winter Soldier, and yes, they're like, yeah, let's go find them. So yes, the first end credit scene, they're setting up the plot for Age of Ultron, because we see the man who has the scepter and who has the twins.
When was the last time we saw the scepter with Loki, right?
Yep, and it was taken in by SHIELD. And since this is a Hydra division, of course they just gave it to them. And so, yes, we see the doctors that we see in Age of Ultron, and yeah, baby girl is there.
The twins.
And they put emphasis on Wanda. The last scene that they show for this end credit scene is her, and she's pushing the blocks together. And this is also what I was going to say earlier when we were talking about the movies being set up for Age of Ultron. Yes, they talk about the doctor who's there. He says, yeah, this is one of many of all of our Hydras that are all over the world, and we'll spoon feed Captain America and his team the other ones so that they can be distracted while we do this work here. So there are still Hydras somehow involved. I'm just confused then as to who is feeding him orders. Like, who is feeding him information? Maybe it's more so that the Hydra team is, like, playing with the information, like, manipulating the information that is available so that the Cap can easily find the ones that they want him to find first. But,
I say, also maybe they have, like, multiple people. Like, maybe they have different divisions, and they're all, like, calling themselves Hydra. Like, the head person here is different than the head person over there. They're not, like, telling each other what to do.
No, not the Hydras. Who's giving Cap and the Avengers their orders? Like, who is being like, go after Hydra? Like, maybe that's Cap's mission. But, like, why would he start doing that if he was focused on looking for
that's
Soldier?
Nick's mission.
Exactly. So it's like, why are the Avengers fighting his mission?
I feel like now that you brought up, like, that's what they were doing in the movie, I feel like the easiest theory to think of is that Fury called all of them up, like, hey, I need help.
Maybe.
And they're like, okay. And they went to help.
I guess.
Because they're still the Avengers initiative. Like, they still have that.
And it's like, is that council still a thing? Well,
no, they're dead.
But except for that one lady, so maybe she started up a new council. But we don't ever see the council.
But they still have this idea of the Avengers, and I feel like maybe, because we know Nick and Fury, and he always, like, needs something. He needs, like, this backup plan, he needs this safety net, and so he probably was like, okay, like, this is the time for the Avengers, and we see him say it again, and nope, that's the wrong movie, never mind. Okay. But, yeah, I feel like he was like, okay, this is a great time, let's put the Avengers together, like, the world needs something. Which is also interesting, though, because, like, he brings them together, and then he, like, it's like, okay, do you. Like, he doesn't overstep. Like, he's in charge, but he's not in charge.
Yeah.
Like, they don't take orders from him.
It's like the coach versus team leaders. Like, yeah, definitely. And then our second end credit scene is Bucky. He goes to the Smithsonian and he learns about himself. He sees he's there. There's information that he's dead. And he's like,
yeah, I wrote down, I'm dead. What? Yes.
Exactly. That's exactly what his face was like. And then
I'm right here.
We get a little message at the end that's like Captain America will return in Avengers Age of Ultron.
I didn't see that.
Yeah, it was there. And
Okay. One thing I want to note on, which we didn't talk about earlier, Sam and Cap's relationship, I feel like we see during this movie. I also saw a TikTok talking about it too. They're very similar. Like, their humor is very similar. Their personalities are very similar, which I feel like helps with how easy it is for them to, like, become best friends. And also we see in the movie too, Sam's like, I do what he does, just slower. Like, they're the iteration of, like, the same person in a sense. Which
they're training us.
Yes, which also makes sense why, you know, Cap gives over. Yeah. And then I forgot when we first started this podcast that on Disney they have, like, extras tab, and they have, like, deleted scenes and, like, behind the scenes and, like, bloopers and stuff. So this is the first movie that we can talk about it.
Okay, first scene is Nat when she's putting everything. This is very short. She's putting everything up on the internet. And he's like, you want everyone to know about your past? And he names it off. He says Budapest, Oscara, or some other place, and then the child's ward. Which I feel like is what they were... I feel like maybe what they were trying to what they were building up to for Black Widow. But they just called it something different. Another deleted scene. I should have wrote down what that was. I don't remember what I was talking about. Oh, another deleted scene was... Oh, it's the same thing. Was with Nat and Fury when she found out that he wasn't dead. They're still, like, in the cave and stuff, and they were talking. And he gave her, like, the face the veil that they call it.
Mm-hmm.
And basically, like, they're talking about like how, like, Nick was like, yeah, I can't trust anyone, and Nat's like, yo, the heck, like, what about me? And so it's just another scene showing like her internal conflicts and like her not feeling like people can trust her. And I feel like this scene was good that it was deleted because like the surprise, like, yo, that's Nat, was really good. And I feel like we had enough of Nat's like mental health in the other scenes to know where she was.
Yeah, definitely.
Another scene is just them, part of another explanation of to why Cap switched suits, because they were looking for Cap and there was a tracker in his suit. And so they have the SWAT team and they're like chasing the tracker, and it leads to like this basketball court, and like his suit's in there, like, he's not here.
Dun, dun, dun.
Yes.
Crazy how much they film for movies that we don't get to see. And like the extras of the scenes that they didn't even feel like releasing, you know, so much. It's crazy.
Yes. And then the last one is the one I was talking about earlier with Hill, and she was talking to the ball secretary, and they were, I don't remember what they were talking about.
Ball agent Hill. I mean Agent Sitwell.
Right.
Yeah. Back to New York.
He was like, yeah, after the funeral, basically he was suspicious of her, cause like that's Nick's right hand, like it's right to be suspicious of her. Like, yeah, after the funeral you're going back to New York. Then there's just like the bloopers of Anthony always saying cut the check, and they were like, yeah, he wore it out during this movie. It's like, yeah, you said it too much, it lost its flavor.
Yeah.
And then their little chopper thing, I don't know what it's called, but it has like, they're you know when they're about to do a scene and they're like,
I know what you're talking about. I just don't know what it's called.
Okay. I was like, okay.
No, it's basically the thing that I do when I clap my hand.
Yeah.
That's what it's used for, to help sync the audio and like let you know information, like whatever. But
we should just get you one of those.
We should. I don't gotta hurt my hands.
But their title on there, because usually like the title of the scene when they're filming or whatnot, it was called Freezer Burn for the movie, which I don't know why, but I thought it was just interesting.
Did they show what scene that they were about to record?
Well, it said that for like the whole movie.
Oh,
so maybe it's because like they want to, you know how Marvel
so like were they just like clacking it, like they were just showing like what parts were they showing of the thing being clacked?
I don't know what scenes it was, but they had like
was it a culmination?
Yeah, a compilation. Oh, okay. Yes. So maybe it's because, you know, Marvel is very secretive, so like this was like their code name for back in the day. Yeah, but those are my last points.
Beautiful.
I'm done yapping.
Alrighty, guys.
You want to rate her? Yeah.
Yeah.
I'm not you're gonna skip this.
No.
I feel like we all know how biased I am with these movies.
But like, it's just like they make Captain America movies so good. Like they make them fit so well into the MCU. Like the way that they set everything up and like left no crumbs. Like the only crumbs that they left was a trail
after they ate. I also feel like it helps because the Russo brothers directed it. Like I feel like if they would have had the Russo brothers directing at least one of the Iron Man movies instead of weirdo homeboy, they would have been better.
Let him go. Leave it alone.
But I gave it a 6 out of 6.
Yeah, me too. Yeah, period. That's it.
There was like no like plot holes that I can think of. And like as I was watching, I literally just wanted to watch. Like I've seen this movie so many times. Like just wait. I've also seen Age of Ultron so many times, but it's not even like a fan favorite of mine.
No, like it's not the. It's the quality's not the same. Like it's just like
it's just good.
Yeah. It's just a good movie. It's good as a standalone movie. It's good to go in with the plot. It's like,
I would say maybe I was thinking maybe the only thing was like we could have explored Natasha's character development more, but it was also like she's a side character in this movie, so it makes sense the amount that we got from her. Yeah. I will say also I saw online, I think it was just a post, but they were saying like they have scenes in their archives somewhere of like Cap adjusting to like the real world, but they never put them in the movies. So
yeah, I really do enjoy that we got to tap in with his mental health, but yeah, I definitely would like to see more of him trying to get adjusted, him more like learning technology and just like new styles of everything, new styles of clothes. Like I'm
we
sure everything is like tight
yeah,
and different.
we know he's doing it, we just don't get to see it.
Yeah, that would have been cool to see. But yeah, guys, definitely go watch this movie. It's a beautiful movie.
Yeah.
Do you have anything that you want to suggest? What are you watching right now?
Y'all sorry, I am also biased when it comes to like POC movies or series. Like, you know this, there's this new series on Netflix called North of North. It's about in the Innu tribe in they say the Arctic, but I don't know, like it's part of Canada, but it's like up there, like where like it breaks apart a little bit up north, like to the west kind of. But yeah, it's about them, and it's not like a documentary, like it's a fiction show, and it's about this 26-year-old mom who's like discovering herself. Like, she got married like right out of school, and like everyone like is focused on her husband. Like, he's called King Ten, King Ting, and the thing, and like he's like praising stuff. She's like, okay, like what about me? Like, I have like a life too. Like, my life is not just like my child. Like, she's in school now. Like, I need to do stuff. So he's basically following her life and her finding herself. Beautiful. And it was a really good movie. Good series. So I recommend that, because representation matters.
Yes, beautiful. I don't have something as cutesy and sentimental. We're watching it together, but School Spirits season 2 is out, so we are currently watching that. That is
season 1 8. So
definitely suggest watching that. It is a great show. But thank you guys for watching. Thank you guys for tuning in. Back here in the regular MCU, our next episode is going to be a vlog exclusively on YouTube. So make sure you come and check it out. Leave us a comment down below. Let us know how you felt about this movie, what kind of questions you have, what you would rate her, and give us a like. We'll see you all in the next
subscribe.
movie. Yes, please do. Thank you.